Aloha, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to speak about the 50th anniversary of the Selma voting rights movement and of the Selma to Montgomery marches that led to the passage of the Voting Rights Act. Nothing so far has moved me more as a freshman member of this august body than to sit down and talk with our colleague, John Lewis, who years ago was the chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. I've had many occasions since the beginning of this Congress to speak with Congressman John Lewis about the events of 50 years ago. He is the only living Big Six leader of the American Civil Rights Movement still with us. It will be forever be my honor to have sat next to Mr. Lewis when President Obama gave his State of the Union address earlier this year. It was not lost on me that I was sitting and listening to President Obama while sitting next to the man whose actions 50 years ago helped pave the way for Barack Obama, a black kid from Hawaii, to become President of the United States. The Freedom Marches mark a significant turning point in America's history. As an ethnic minority myself, I am thankful for those that paved the way for the freedoms and the liberties that all of us as Americans enjoy. They suffered insults and physical harm, yet their spirit remained unbroken. The right of our citizens to vote is one that runs through the foundation of our country. To prevent or inhibit the vote of a citizen is an action that I feel contradicts the very principles on which this country was established. Even in our current society, there are efforts being undertaken to limit citizens of our country from casting their vote. This is a despicable practice and highlights to me the importance of the Voting Rights Act and the need to remain vigilant against those who seek to reverse the great strides made by this country towards equal rights for all. The brave actions taken by the civil rights marchers 50 years ago still resonate with our society today. That is why I am proud to join the 50th anniversary of the Freedom March. Looking through photos of the original Selma protests, I was struck by photos of Dr. Martin Luther King, Congressman John Lewis, and others leading the 54-mile Third March, arms linked together in solidarity, wearing what looked like white double carnation Hawaiian lei. Looking into the matter further, I learned that they were in fact wearing lei. Why were they wearing lei? I found an answer that drove home for me the importance of standing together for civil rights for all. Many of you may not know this, but Dr. Martin Luther King actually came to speak at the University of Hawaii in 1964. He came for a civil rights symposium being held at the university. It was during this time in Hawaii that he began a deep friendship with the Reverend Abraham Kahikina Akaka, former pastor of Kauai Church on Oahu and the first chairman of the Hawaii Advisory Committee of the U.S. Civil Rights Commission. In the spirit of aloha, which means compassion, peace, and love, the Reverend Akaka sent to Selma lei for the leaders of the protests to wear. I'll be marching this weekend, Mr. Speaker, and to honor the tradition and the bonds established many years ago between Hawaii and the Alabama civil rights leaders, Senator Mazie Hirono and I will be presenting lei to Congressman John Lewis and all of our congressional colleagues. These leis are a tribute to the Selma marchers 50 years ago and the knowledge that their efforts reverberated through our nation and to Hawaii, a state that was only 6 years old. As we travel across the 54-mile historic trail and cross the famous Edmund Pettus Bridge on Saturday, we will remember those whose lives are lost fighting for our civil liberties. Remember those who paved the way, celebrate the hard-fought victories, and remind ourselves that the fight is not yet over. I look forward to participating in this historic weekend, and I thank the Faith and Politics Institute for coordinating our congressional pilgrimage to Alabama. I yield back. Thank you.
The gentleman is yielded. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Puerto Rico, Mr. Pierre Luisi, for 5 minutes.